Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your November 2018 mid-month general readings. Thank you for joining us here today. Welcome to anyone who might be new to the channel. As always, thank you for those of you who continue to follow this channel, all your likes, shares, subscribes, and those of you who take the time to send in your support, feedback, and comments. And always a big thank you to all of my clients out there, regular and new, for always keeping me so joyfully occupied with personal one-on-one readings. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. If any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, you can get more info and my contact details by going to my YouTube channel's homepage and clicking on the little About button you'll see there. Or you can click on the description bar of any of the videos I post. Please feel free to email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to work with you. I do a wide variety of all different types of readings of different lengths of times in all the main areas of life. And turnaround time is usually pretty good. I do readings full-time, 5 to 6 days a week. It is what I do, so I work pretty diligently with your schedule to get you a reading as quickly as we can. For fast answers to the quick, easy questions, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy, and that link is also provided. All right, let's move right into this reading. This reading is for the air sign of Libra for the remainder of November 2018. So we're looking at the last couple of weeks of November. I am recording these around the 10th and 11th. If you know your rising and moon sign, it's worth it to kind of check out those videos as well, because it can provide a little additional clarification or resonate a little more predictably for you at different times. General readings always vary a little for everyone watching because there's so many of you watching. All right, Libra, let us see what the remainder of November has in store for you. We have the King of Wands, followed by the Eight of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, followed by the Eight of Swords, and from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy and guidance is strength. Okay, so Libra, it looks like there is some messages coming in, messages, news, information, conversations, or some kind of communication being exchanged or that you're waiting for, which will be coming in sometime over the next couple of weeks. Because we begin with the King of Wands and the Eight of Wands around the middle of the month or so. Here we have the communication card, the Eight of Wands. Powerful, positive communication or communication going back and forth, conversation. We live in such a technologically savvy world. This can be electronic communication of one kind or another, but news coming in, messages coming in, and conversations, communication being exchanged. And it's crowned by the King of Wands. So it may be a fire sign individual, Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, showing up as a king, but could be a queen as well. It could be a female as well. Kings and queens represent individuals who have mastered their suit, meaning that they've grown and matured and evolved beyond that young, immature, childlike energy of the page and the spontaneous, impulsive energy of the knights. And so they've reached a point of self-control and self-mastery and balance with the character traits that are inherent to their suit. So the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands would be individuals who are very dynamic, energetic, go-getters, passionate, very intentional and action-oriented, not one to rest on his laurels for very long, very charismatic, probably easy on the eyes, a very inspiring person, a good delegator as well. And if it doesn't represent an actual person in your life, maybe that you are exchanging these conversations or communication or messages or waiting to hear from, it can represent you being more action-oriented and intentional, maybe perhaps about reaching out to see what the news or the messages or the information is, or in pursuing this as well. Now, at or towards the last week or so of November, we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. So the Ace of Pentacles, Pentacles is earth energy. So this is tangible earthly energy. And in the tarot, it often manifests in tangible, concrete areas of our life. Things like money, finances, property, real estate, assets, job, etc. Things we can see and touch and feel, or the tangible efforts we put into other areas of our life. Aces represent the number 1, so they always represent a new start, a new beginning, or the opportunity for one. So the Ace of Pentacles is a tangible new beginning, a new beginning that's going to make a difference in a practical way, perhaps in the practical day-to-day course of your life. It's often a card that comes up for moving, relocating, starting a new job, or sometimes receiving money or resources that enable you to start something new. And it's sitting right next to the King of Wands as well. So some of you, there may be this message, these news, information, messages, communication about moving, about relocating, about starting a new job, or a new business, or the opportunity for that as well. And it may be coming through or in connection with this King of Wands energy or individual as well with these messages and information. But for some reason, Libra, it looks like you or the other person is feeling trapped. So some of you are on, I think the larger portion of you are on, you know, exchanging this news, this information with this King of Wands energy or person, or waiting on that. But there's a sense of feeling trapped in it. And some of you who may be waiting to hear about moving, relocating, starting over again in a practical new way, whether it be business, financially, in the relationship sense, it's definitely a practical new beginning. You either have an offer to do that or you're waiting to hear on an offer. But for some reason, it makes you or the other person feel trapped, held hostage, bound up for some reason. Now, it's right next to the Eight of Wands, so some of you may be waiting for news, communication, messages about the opportunity to have this new beginning, moving, relocating, a new job, something in that area of your life, or starting over again in a very practical way. And while you're waiting for this, you may just feel kind of, you know, trapped or held hostage by it. But I feel like there's something about this new beginning, Libra, which has you, it could be the other person, but I feel like for the larger portion of you, you're afraid of it somehow. You may be afraid of the news or coming in. You might be, even though you may want it, you may be afraid of this practical new beginning. And also, if it's fueled by and offered by the King of Wands or the Queen of Wands, you know, they can be very fast moving, energetic, action oriented. Okay, we're going to do this, let's do this. And the speed or the intensity of it, you know, may have you feeling a little, you know, in your air energy, a little, okay, wait a minute now, I don't just want to rush into anything. But maybe you feel like you're kind of bound by it or trapped. For some of you, it might be an offer or an opportunity for this tangible new beginning. But for some reason, whatever your current circumstances are, have left you with this feeling trapped or bound energy. And I feel like for a lot of you, there's some kind of fear or anxiety or stress attached to whatever this practical new beginning, this tangible new beginning represents for you in this communication. Because your overall energy and advice from Spirit is strength, which is about facing your fears, your doubts, your insecurities, wrestling with your demons. It's really about overcoming something in yourself or aspects of yourself in order to move forward and attain real freedom and real strength, wisdom, insight, and humility, kind of wrestling with your demons, facing your fears, going through them, not around them or underneath them or trying to pretend that they don't exist. But it's about going through them and the self-mastery that you attain, strength, wisdom, insight. It takes a great deal of that to go through and wrestle with what we're afraid of. Whether it's external things or internal things or our own bad habits or decisions or patterns. But strength is what you gain more of by going through this process as well. And this is Spirit's advice to you for the remainder of November. So again, for some of you, a smaller number of you, this trapped, held hostage feeling might be the other person, but I feel like more of you, it's you somehow. And the sense of this woman in the Circle of Swords being trapped is illusionary. Swords is air energy, which is mental, cerebral, intellectual energy. In the tarot, it's about what goes on up in here. Our belief systems, what we believe in, our perceptions, perspectives, because that affects the way that we see the world and how we relate and communicate to the world. It's all based on what our perceptions and our belief systems are. So the only thing keeping this woman trapped here, feeling like she's powerless, is the idea of some kind of belief that she has, because the reality reality is that she's not. The gaps between these swords are plenty wide enough for her to walk through and away. Nobody's holding her down on her knees. The chains wrapped around her wrists aren't connected to anything or anybody. She could free herself. Every action has a consequence, of course, but she could free herself from this feeling. She only feels trapped because it's some kind of belief or idea that she has in her head that's doing that. This is kind of the card that's like, you know, we're our own worst enemies. It's our head that's kind of keeping us held back in something. And Spirit's advice is face what your fears are, face what your anxieties are, and move through them. In a very practical, kind of tangible, hands-on, let's face this kind of way, so that you can move through and gain that sense of self-mastery and strength and what actual true personal freedom means. So Libra, that pretty much wraps up your November 2018 mid-month general reading. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you found it helpful and useful. Again, if any of you are interested in a more personal, tailored just for you one-on-one reading, please feel free to email me directly at maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. I do love and romance, of course, relationship compatibility charting, reconciliation potential, career work and finance, as well as investment readings. I offer 6 and 12-month overviews, which take a look at what's coming and all the main areas of your life over the next 6 or 12 months, depending on how far out you want to look. And while you can order those at any time of the year, they seem to be particularly popular around this time of year, November and December, as we're transitioning towards the end of one year and looking ahead at the new year. And gift readings as well, which a lot of people, again, like to order this time of year as, you know, gifts of personal readings to friends, family, and loved ones during the holidays. So some different options to consider for those of you who are interested. And again, for fast answers to the quick, easy questions, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy, and that link is also provided. So Libra, I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the December 2018 general readings. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care. Bye-bye.